There is an easy way to make sure 1 in 3 lottery tickets you buy is a winning one. And this shocking secret has recently been revealed by a whistleblower who won the lottery 18 times. The man, part of an underground lottery syndicate, has revealed that the secret to consistent wins is a specific string of numbers chosen with the help of AI they developed to legally cheat the lottery. Thanks to this, the group has won more than $1 billion combined in just the last 5 years, and now that their secret is out, they're scrambling to cover it up. I don't think it's fair how just one small select group has access to so much wealth, while we're here struggling to pay our bills and living paycheck to paycheck. So if you want to retire early, travel the world, and drive around rich neighborhoods in your expensive sports car, you have to watch this short presentation. As long as this video is online, you'll have access to the organization's secret to legally cheat the lottery. Because you see, the lottery is not as random as they might like you to believe. In fact, it's being played by a very small and very select group of people who win in rotation. And in a minute, I'll show you exactly how they do it. As you hold winning ticket after winning ticket for months at a time, you'll have to be very careful because these people hate having their money stolen by us commoners. Don't worry though, thanks to the simple program I'm about to share, they'll have nothing to hold against you. They'll have to just watch you as you win $4,000, $14,000, and even $140,000, sometimes multiple times a month. This highly intelligent program is in fact so efficient that I used it to win the lotto 5 times in the last 4 months and no less than 14 times since I came up with it. These wins weren't all major jackpots, by the way. Some tickets were for just $8,000, like this one from March 2023. Some were for $14,000, like this one I won in January this year in the Mega Millions draw. And some were even as high as $250,000, like this one from last month. As you can see, these wins didn't put me on the Forbes list, but they sure were enough to make my life a hell of a lot better. This same program has been used by other lucky people once I shared it with them. It's so easy to use. It only took them 4 minutes to learn. In fact, even a 5th grader could do it. Just look at what they had to say.
AP, I'm just writing this quick note to thank you for changing my life. I've already hit the lotto 3 times for $13,200, $120,182, and $38,492 respectively this month. Some months aren't quite as crazy as this, but regardless, I've been averaging around $22,000 per month, and it's all thanks to your system. And speaking of your system, I still just can't believe how easy it is to use. Even a toddler could use it. I'm glad you're not going to share this info with too many people, because if you did, I think the lottery would go out of business.
I can't believe it. 5 wins of $5,000 or more over the last 3 months. If you told me a few months ago that I'd be winning like this, I would have said you were crazy. But your system is so easy to use, and it's so insanely accurate. Now I know that my family and I will be financially set for life.
When a friend of mine shared your website with me, I thought he was nuts. There's no system to beat the lottery, I told him. You're crazy. But after watching him hit his 3rd jackpot in 6 months for a total of more than $1,242,000 in winnings, I started to think maybe he wasn't so crazy after all. So I gave this a try, and my God, am I happy I did. I just hit my first jackpot for $124,000, and it's only been about 29 days. I can't wait to keep winning.
Now, I'm going to keep my name hidden for obvious reasons, but for this video, you can call me AP. I've used software to modify my voice, and you won't see my face. All you need to know about me is that I'm your average Joe from New York, and I work as a computer science teacher. If you had asked me 4 years ago if there was some secret tech to rig the lottery and consistently generate correct numbers, I would have probably shaken my head and said no. I mean, if the lottery is truly random, then no computer program or algorithm in the world could beat it. What I didn't realize back then was that technology could really change the game. with the same type of artificial intelligence, or AI in short, that big corporations like Google or Amazon use to predict whether a customer will make a purchase. One can find patterns and insights that might give an edge in the lottery game. We do have the power to outsmart the odds, but back then, I thought that was impossible. In fact, I hadn't even bought a lottery ticket until a few years ago. News of the Powerball jackpot being hit started becoming a common occurrence, and of course, everyone wanted a piece of that, myself included. You see, despite being a computer science teacher at one of the most reputable high schools in the country, the kind where only rich people bring their kids, I felt I was barely scraping by. I had 2 kids to take care of, a wife with a chronic illness, and a huge mortgage to pay on the house. That's not even to mention the bills, food, and other emergencies that might happen. And on top of that, inflation has been pretty crazy lately. I mean, the average price of weekly shopping went from around $150 to $210 in just 5 years, and it doesn't seem to be going down or even stopping anytime soon. A teacher's salary barely covers that. But besides that, I wanted more than just to live from paycheck to paycheck. I wanted to travel with my family, spend more time with my kids, and enjoy my hobbies in peace. I was never in a position to drive, let alone buy a good car or live in a nice neighborhood where my family would be comfy and safe. There were many months when I wasn't even sure if we'd make it to the next without borrowing money from friends. And don't get me wrong, we weren't desperately poor and we had a roof over our heads, but we were struggling, and of course, like so many other Americans, I was sick and tired of it. Not to mention having to see the rich and spoiled kids at my high school spending $12 on a latte, scrolling TikTok on their $1,000 iPhones that they changed like socks. So I decided, what the heck? I went to a 7-Eleven and spent $20 on 10 tickets. Out of the 10 tickets I bought, I only picked a single winning number. I just flushed $20 down the drain, I thought, as I watched an interview with the winner, a well-dressed young man from Florida who didn't even look like he needed the money. He was talking about how he was going to invest it in property and stocks. I thought to myself how unfair it was that this guy had won while I had to go back to the grind, working hard for peanuts, doing private tutoring after school, and rarely seeing my family because of that. It also didn't help that some guy from our city had just hit his 4th jackpot that month, which was all everyone was talking about. But this got me thinking, why are the same people winning over and over again? I mean, you're always hearing these stories about these incredibly lucky people who'd hit their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, even 7th jackpot. The headlines were everywhere. The Texas Lottery never investigated John Ginther, who won $5.4 million in a 1993 Lotto Texas drawing, then hit it big in 3 scratch-off games, $2 million in Holiday Millionaire in 2006, $4 million in Millions and Millions in 2008, and $10 million in the $140 million Extreme Payoff in 2010. And how about the case of the lucky Airdrie man who won $17 million in the Canadian lottery in 2009, after he had won another 4 jackpots of $1 million, $100,000, $57,000, and $1.3 million. Or the case of the Fort Smith woman who won more than $7 million after beating the lottery for the 3rd time. Or the case of the Florida man who first won $3 million, and the next year, he cashed in on another jackpot of $451 million. Or the amazing story of the Panama City Beach man who won the Florida lottery twice in less than 6 months, becoming an instant millionaire. Or the fantastic case of Mark Maltz, who won the lottery no less than 3 times in 1 day, winning a life-changing $325,184. And it seemed kind of weird to me that this was even a thing. I mean, winning once is already a long shot, but winning more than once? That's some crazy luck. You'd have more chances of being struck by lightning twice. There had to be more to it. So, I started looking into these winners. I mean, really digging, checking out their backgrounds and looking for any connections. At first, I didn't find much. It was like hitting a wall. But after weeks of obsessively looking into these people, I had my first clue. One night, as I was switching between web pages, I stumbled upon an obscure forum. You know, the kind that looks like it was made in the 90s and hardly anyone posts on it anymore. It had this one thread about lottery strategies, and it mentioned something about a syndicate. But the more I tried to find out about it, the more empty pages and dead links I found. I almost gave up for the night, but then a thought struck me. What if I could find something in the page's code? And true enough, There it was, a hidden link buried in the page's source code. It was the kind of thing only someone with a computer science background might recognize. My heart raced as I decrypted the link and it led me to the password-protected page. This is where most people would have given up, but my skills came in handy as I managed to decrypt the page and find the password. I felt like I was in a spy movie or something. I was convinced I'd found something real and I wanted more. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. All I found on the forum were some cryptic messages, code speak, and talk about various locations. It just felt like an elaborate joke I was too tired to understand, or just a bunch of crazy people living in a fantasy world. However, my big break came after a parent-teacher meeting one evening. As I was leaving the classroom, one of the dads came up to me to ask if I'd like to make an extra buck by tutoring his kid, which obviously meant giving his son better grades for no effort. Now, that in itself wasn't out of the ordinary. However, I knew this guy from college, and he was always asking for money, using secondhand clothes, and he showed up every day for 4 years with the same pair of raggedy old sneakers. I don't know about you. It seemed a bit unbelievable that the same guy would show up years later to a parent-teacher meeting in a red Lambo. There had to be more to the story. I had to find out his secret. So I told him I'd be more than happy to tutor his kid and we could discuss the details over a few drinks. He said yes, and before I knew it, we were at the bar knocking back a couple of beers. The great thing about newly rich people is that they love to brag. Boy, did he start bragging after a few drinks. He told me about the huge mansion he owns, about the 4 sports cars in the garage, and how he's just done building a game room for his son equipped with the latest gaming tech. That VR set was crazy expensive, man, he said at some point. But you gotta do anything for your kids, right? Right, I said, thinking about my son's cracked iPhone 4 that we hadn't been able to change for years. Listen, father to father, how'd you get all this money? You weren't rich at all when we were in college. He laughed and took another swig of his beer. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, he said, a little too loudly. I leaned in, playing it cool. Try me. I've heard some crazy stories. He looked around like he was checking to make sure no one else was listening. Then he leaned in closer. All right, I'll give you a hint. It's all about knowing the right numbers. I raised an eyebrow. The right numbers? Yep. You know, for the lottery, he said, slurring his words. By that point, he was super drunk and I felt I could ask him anything and he'd answer. Are you saying you've been winning the lottery? More than once? He laughed again. Something like that. He paused as if deciding whether to go on. It's all thanks to this little guy. He pulled out a second phone from his pocket. This here's my moneymaker. Now, pay close attention here, because this was the exact moment that would change my life and the lives of hundreds of hardworking Americans. It was that moment that triggered my weird journey towards riches and a comfortable life. He explained that he was part of this lottery syndicate and that they used some kind of intelligent program to accurately guess lottery numbers. So the forum I found was real, I thought to myself. He then unlocked his phone and tapped on an app I hadn't seen before. He started going through some screens, explaining that his little smart robot, which to me looked a lot like an AI program, can give you any winning numbers if you train it right and ask it the right questions. Apparently, you had to be very precise and only use certain words. Otherwise, it would straight up refuse to do anything. It truly felt like something sentient and super intelligent. I couldn't believe my luck. Here was the proof I needed. Winning the lottery wasn't just luck or coincidence. It was a calculated strategy backed by some serious, precise artificial intelligence. Would you share that app with me? I asked in excitement. I don't think so, man, he said, as if he immediately realized he'd made a huge mistake. He quickly shoved the phone into his pocket, downed the last few gulps of beer, and left the bar without saying another word. When I left the bar, my head was buzzing, and while I didn't have the app on my phone, the guy gave enough info to help me get started on my own version. I still remembered some of the screens he showed me, so I based it on those. I was able to make some connections and come up with some features I thought would best fit. I was afraid I wouldn't have enough time to work on this because of the tutoring for his son, but when I tried calling, the guy kept hanging up on me. I played around with various formulas, questions, and word combinations for the artificial intelligence I was using. Writing down what seemed to be working and crossing off what I found to be useless. I became obsessed with reviewing the winning draws for all the different major lotteries each night to see if the program I was slaving over was showing any promise. For a good long while, about a year total I'd say, I didn't have anything to show for my hard work, and then it happened. I was on the 25th program version, and I just used it to try to predict the winning numbers for the most recent Fantasy 5 drawing. As usual, I went online to check the real winning numbers, but what I saw made my heart stop. My program had accurately predicted every single number, all 5 of them. Well, at first, I was actually really mad. If I'd bought a ticket using my numbers, I would have won $229,881. That sucked. I started kicking myself for being stupid. Until I realized something. The program I'd been perfecting for nearly 2 years seemed to have worked. Of course, it could have been a fluke, so I had to keep testing it. But you better believe I didn't just watch from the sidelines anymore. Instead, I took about $40 and bought tickets for several different popular games, things like Mega Millions, Powerball, or Fantasy 5. And sure enough, 4 days later, bam, there it was. I was holding a $5,200 winner right in my hand. And another 10 days after that, there it was again. I'd hit 4 numbers and the Powerball for a prize of almost $50,000. And another 20 days after that, I really hit it big time when I nailed another Fantasy 5 ticket worth just under $200,000. Fortunately, I'd actually bought the ticket this time. It was incredible. It felt like the universe had finally cut me a break. I can't even properly explain it. Imagine every single worry, every sleepless night about bills and debts, just evaporating in an instant. I felt this overwhelming sense of relief, like a massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I could finally take my wife out to that fancy restaurant she'd always dreamed of. We could fix up the house, or hell, even buy a new one. Get the kids the latest gadgets they'd been begging for, and maybe even take a real family vacation for once. Suddenly, the world seemed full of possibilities again. We could plan for the kids' futures, think about retiring early, maybe even give back to the community that's been supporting us through thick and thin. I couldn't believe what was happening. It didn't seem real until I drove down to the state lottery office, collected my checks, and put them in the bank. You probably don't have to be told how good that felt. To suddenly not have to worry about money anymore, be able to pay off your debts, to buy an Escalade for your wife or a Porsche for yourself, and a BMW for your kid. To see the looks on the faces of the guys at the dealerships when they ask to run a credit check on you and you say, no, I'll just go ahead and pay cash. Or to become a hero to your whole family and suddenly make more in a few months of playing the lotto than you'd earned in the last 10 years of working 40, 60, or even 80 hours per week. Well, over the next few months, I kept using my program and I won 2 more times. No, I wasn't making millions upon millions of dollars. But I was hitting prizes worth anywhere from a few thousand to a few $100,000. That was okay by me. I was on such a high. I thought I was unstoppable. That was, of course, until one of the lottery syndicate's thugs held me at gunpoint after I claimed my winnings one evening. The only reason I'm still alive is that a group of teenagers turned the corner, distracting the guy and giving me enough time to get to my car and floor it home. That's why I'm not sharing my full name with you either. I wouldn't want the syndicate to track me down again and hurt my family, all because I dared take a piece of their pie. Frankly, I didn't do anything wrong. I had simply used their idea as a starting point for my program and refined it based on publicly available data, such as the most profitable games or states. I decided to name this program Lotto Champ and share it with the world. After making enough money to never worry about retirement again, I started to see things differently. I thought about all my friends and family who were still struggling, people just like me who worked hard but could never seem to catch a break. I couldn't stand the thought of them or people like them continuing to go without me while I had the means to help. So I made a choice. I was going to stick it to the syndicate, not out of anger, but out of a desire to give everyone a fair shot at a better life. So, with my program, you can finally rig the lottery, start winning, and achieve whatever you want in life. I made it so simple, even a 5th grader could use it. And the best thing, you have the power of thousands of intelligent computers at your fingertips working together to generate winning lottery numbers with crazy accuracy. So it doesn't matter if you're not skilled with computers. All it takes is just 3 easy steps. Step 1, you simply log into the web app. Step 2, you answer a few questions related to the games you want to play. Step 3, that's it. All you have to do now is use the numbers that the AI-based program has generated for you based on real statistics and thousands of gigabytes of publicly available data. That's exactly what these people did, and they're now living their best lives.
Success! This is so amazing. Even though this is my 3rd time winning this month, I'm still shocked by how easy your software is to use. Seriously, you were not lying when you said it does all of the work for you.
Check out this picture I've attached. Like it? This is my new Mercedes AMG SL 63. Oh, and see the one next to it, the Porsche? That one's for my wife. She likes to call it her new toy. But anyway, I'm sending these pictures because your smart lottery winning software is the thing that made all this possible. When I hit 750,000 in the Powerball 2 months ago, using your program, my life changed forever. The fact that I keep winning, well, now it's just getting absurd. Thank you 1,000 times for making others aware of this.
Now, it's important that you understand that you're not going to win every time. You also may not win the Powerball jackpot next week. Sorry, but that's just realistic. I mean, even the people famous for winning multiple times had to play for months or even years before they hit big. But if you're okay with winning $5,200, $12,800, $30,000 or so on the tickets you buy on a pretty regular basis, and also occasionally hitting a smaller size jackpot that's worth between $240,000 and $2 million or so, doing it over the course of about 3 to 6 months, then the program I've created will work brilliantly for you. Okay, so you're probably pretty excited to know more about why this super smart lottery winning program works so well and why it's the #1 choice of so many multiple lottery winners across the country. Well, it's based on an incredibly smart artificial intelligence program that sees all the data from all the lotteries in all states from all time. Based on this huge amount of data, it recognizes common patterns between winning strings of numbers. After this super intelligent lotto robot has the patterns down, it will ask you a few questions it needs to give you the numbers with the best odds. These questions are super simple. First, it asks for your zip code. Winning the lottery can depend on the game you're playing and where you're located. With this info, our AI-based lottery winning program can find the games available in your area and tell you which ones have the best odds and biggest payouts. For example, it knows that New York State is home to the most Mega Millions jackpot winners, with 42 winning tickets bought there. So if you're located here, you'll get Mega Millions as one of the recommended games, along with a few strings of numbers that have incredibly high odds of winning. Then, it asks for the date when you're planning to play, because timing is everything when it comes to the lottery. This AI-based lottery rigging program looks at historical data and patterns for that time. For example, it knows that the numbers 37 and 52 have been drawn 113 times each, across various games, only in February 2024 alone. Using such information, this highly intelligent lottery-winning software is able to pin down your numbers based on where they're most likely to be drawn. One more example I can give is your budget. Everyone has a different amount they're comfortable spending on lottery tickets. Some like to go all out, while others want to keep it simple. By setting your budget, this super intelligent lottery winning program gives you number choices that fit exactly what you're willing to spend. For example, if you want to invest $200 on tickets, it'll take that budget and generate a series of number combinations across different games, making your chances of winning big, crazy high. The AI-based program will ensure that your money is well spent, giving you the best possible shot while staying within your limit. There are also several other important features in this program that you'll need to discover on your own, as I can't disclose too much in this presentation. Unlike other lottery systems that just pick random numbers or use old patterns, this legendary lottery program keeps getting better and better, giving you the best possible number combinations based on up-to-date info and advanced algorithms. With all that combined, you get a personal lottery advisor who's constantly learning and analyzing data to give you the best shot at winning by providing the most likely number combinations with maximum accuracy. Of course, this absolutely unique program is not 100% bulletproof. but it will make sure 4 out of 10 tickets are the winning ones. And honestly, 4 payouts of, let's say, $5,000 each are still better than nothing. You may find that you've won only a small prize of a few $1,000s or so the first time, or you may not win the first time at all. Either way, don't get discouraged. Based on real statistics gathered by my AI-powered tool, it's only a matter of time until you're going to hit. As a good rule of thumb, you should target winning once or twice per month for a payout of around $20,000. Some months you may only win $10,000, and other months you may hit a bunch of winners or a jackpot and find yourself cashing a check for $200,000. Winning a jackpot is an incredible feeling, but I think it's important to set realistic expectations, which is why I say to shoot for $20,000 or so per month. Keep repeating for as long as you want. This can become your full-time job if you wanted to, and you'll be amazed at the long-term consistency. All lotto games in the world have the same principles, so this will always work for you, even if a particular game gets retired or a new one hits the streets. And that's really it. Although, like I mentioned before, I do recommend that you try to keep a low profile. Go to different convenience stores so you don't draw the syndicate's attention toward you and have a gun pulled on you just like I did. It's probably also a good idea to hire a financial planner and an accountant after your first few wins. While sometimes they can seem like the fun police, they also help you to make sure you're investing your hundreds of thousands or millions smartly, so you can turn the cash you win into even more money. Oh, right, and also, you might want to donate some of the money you make to charity or a good cause. Not at first, because you'll probably be more focused on making lump cash payments to settle any debts you may have, or buying your new house, or getting your spouse a new Lexus, or taking your kids on vacation. But once you've won your 6th, 7th, 10th, heck, even 15th time over a couple of years, I just think it's important to not get greedy and give a little back to some deserving charity. One of the most important lessons I learned after becoming pretty wealthy is to give back and help those who are less fortunate, which is exactly why I'm sharing my program with you. I know just how rough it is not having enough money for even your most basic needs, struggling to rummage up a few dollars just to pay the bills or mortgage so you don't go homeless. I know how bleak the future looks when seeing how much housing and food costs have gone up over the last few years. And I know very well how it feels to know that you'll have to work way into your 60s or 70s because your retirement money's not enough. But now, after reaching a certain amount in the bank and having everything I desire, the money in my account feels just like a number, which is why giving back provides me more satisfaction than having all the money in the world. I just want to stick it to the syndicates of the world, the very few people who play with our money like it's mere pennies. Plus, I remember how awful it is to feel like you're financially struggling, like you're always getting hammered with bills, like there's just always some unexpected expense popping up that makes you go, where are we going to find the money for this? I'm not saying that's you because, truthfully, I don't know. But what I am saying is I remember how much it hurt to always be saying no to my children when they tried to put a $4.50 box of name brand cereal in the cart while we were grocery shopping. Or they brought a $9 action figure up to the checkout line and I simply couldn't buy it for them and risk not being able to pay our electric bill. And I love that feeling of financial security I now experience on a daily basis. I love that new car smell that all my luxury vehicles have, and I love that each of my children's college funds now has $65,000 in them. Cash that's completely safe, and that will provide them with an incredible head start for the rest of their lives. Alright, so by now, you're probably wondering how you get your hands on Lotto Champ. Well, I've had a lot of friends and family ask me that same question, and for a while I was debating what the best way to share this information would be. Ultimately, I decided to put it online so it can easily be accessed 24/7 on laptops, smartphones, or tablets. This highly intelligent lottery winning program is only available here on this website, and I can't let too many people know it exists because, while I do want to give back, there's a risk if too many people start using it. If everyone had access to this incredibly simple but proven AI-based lottery program, not only would it dilute the winnings for all of us, but it might also catch the attention of lottery organizers, putting this whole opportunity at risk. Until now, I've priced it at $950. That might seem like a lot, but if you're winning even just $4,000 in your first month, which is actually less than what most users have made, $950 starts to feel like a pretty small investment. By keeping the price fair and the user base limited, protecting the value of the system for everyone involved, that was in the beginning. Today, however, I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. You see, I'm limiting the number of accounts to a total of 175. After that, this website goes down and no one else can get it. Because, like I mentioned before, we can't have too many winners here. Either that, or I'll have to start charging for a subscription model like Netflix or Amazon Prime. The bad news is that 124 people have already gotten their hands on this guide, accessed it immediately online, and used it to win anywhere from tens of thousands to even a couple of $1 million in the past 6 months. And I'm starting to get nervous that the lottery corporations are going to come after me for sharing this with people, even though it's 100% legal and doesn't do anything wrong. Which is why I've decided to slash the price even more so that you don't have to pay $950. Not even $650 for instant access to this life-changing lottery rigging program. Instead, I'm making it available to you today for just $197. You can get it now by clicking that Buy Now button you see below. Oh, and one more thing. To make sure you get to actually enjoy your newfound wealth to the fullest, I teamed up with top financial analysts, lawyers, and ex-IRS officials to create 2 bonus guides worth $145 each. Yours for free as soon as you hit the Buy Now button. I know that working 9 to 5 without retirement prospects for the rest of your life is not something anyone wants to do. And that's exactly what the first guide is here for. It's called Wealthy and Lazy, Easiest Ways to Make Your Money Work for You and Stay Obscenely Rich. It will give you useful tips such as the almost illegal loophole that will get you out of debt no matter how much money you owe, the 5 growing markets you should invest in, only the world's billionaires know about them, the 3 most profitable zero-effort side hustles of the decade that turned millionaires into billionaires almost overnight, the one trick to get huge interest on your savings accounts that your bank is keeping hidden from you. I also know I wasn't very happy with the idea of the government taking a huge chunk of my newly won money, so I looked for some solutions that would help me legally hide the money as best I could. These solutions can all be found in the second free ebook called Ultimate Wealth Guard: How to Legally Hide and Protect Your Money from the Government. In this easy-to-follow guide that keeps 100% within the law, you'll find information such as 10 legal loopholes to save big on taxes and pay barely anything to the government, no matter what crazy laws they come up with. The easy secret to offshore banking without breaking the law, how anonymous banking can keep your money hidden from prying eyes. Both of these bonuses are yours for free as soon as you become a member. Besides that, I have one more secret I'd like to share with you. All this wonderful stuff is just the beginning. In the next month or so, together with an elite group of lottery winners who have hit jackpots of at least $50 million or more, we will add even more features to this super intelligent lottery winning program. All these special features, which I cannot disclose right now, are designed to dramatically increase your chances of winning in the shortest time possible. Unfortunately, when these special features are released, I'll have to start charging a monthly subscription of $96. That's because they're quite complex, and the programming manpower needed to keep them constantly updated and maintained will cost me a fortune. However, if you're watching this video now, you're one of the few lucky people who can still lock in full lifetime access and all future features at a one-time fixed cost of $197. Alright, I have one final thing I want to talk to you about. Over the last 6 months, as I've been talking to some of the people who are using the highly intelligent lottery winning program to make a 6-figure income off about $30 or $40 per week in tickets, they've been telling me that there are some other websites on the internet that also talk about winning the lottery. It's pretty despicable, as they've been saying that many of these sites are run by people who have no idea what they're talking about. Hell, I'm pretty sure some of them are being run by other lottery syndicates that are out to make sure you stay poor while they gamble with your money. Well, you read my story and saw proof with your own eyes that the results I've gotten are 100% real, and that the repeat winnings of the people I've helped so far are 100% real. But because I know trust is big, I'm also going to go one step further and offer you a 100% money-back guarantee that's good for a full 60 days. Here's how it works. You simply click the Buy Now button you see below this presentation. Once you do that and enter your information via the secured checkout page I've set up, you'll be taken to a special members area where you get instant access to the legendary lottery winning program and the 2 free ebooks. Just imagine, You log in, answer a few questions, and instantly you'll get the special number combinations that could literally make you a millionaire. No more random guessing, no more mathematical calculations, no more searching for past winning numbers. Just ask yourself, are you ready to legally rig the lottery in your favor? While other people will keep using their lucky birthday numbers and never win, you will use the power of thousands of intelligent supercomputers to generate winning numbers with scary accuracy. I think the choice is obvious here. Don't pass this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and live the rest of your life full of regret. Click the Buy Now button and try out the program for a full 60 days with absolutely no risk. I already know you're going to get some big wins here, but I also know that seeing is believing, which is why I want you to experience the magic of holding winning ticket after winning ticket for yourself. So, if for any reason you're not happy with your decision over the next 2 months, or if you only average $6,000 per month and you want to be making more, simply send an email to the address I'll give you inside the members area and I will refund your full investment. So really, what have you got to lose? You're basically just saying maybe to a legal lottery rigging program that's already helped many other people just like you to make an average of 6 figures in the last 6 months. And if you change your mind, it's fine. It's no skin off my back and you get your investment returned. I don't think that's going to happen though, because this legendary lottery program has been proven to work again and again and again. It takes the power of artificial intelligence and combines it with thousands of gigabytes of lottery data to bring you a tool that's more powerful than anything else. So go ahead, try it out for yourself now by clicking the Buy Now button right below. But remember, there are only 51 accounts left ready for the taking. Once we hit that magic number of 175, this website goes down for good until we refine the subscription model. Ultimately, the choice is yours. But can you really see any reason not to change your life today? If not, then go ahead and make your move now. You'll have access to the entire system in about 5 to 7 minutes from now. It's that easy. To Your Wealth, AP. Are you still here? That's okay. I understand you may still have some questions. I'll do my best to answer them right here so you can feel 100% comfortable with your small but life-changing investment today. 1. Isn't the lottery completely random? Nope. That's the thing that a lot of people get confused by. The lottery isn't completely random. Instead, it's a game designed by humans, which means that ultimately it has to be beatable, especially by a super advanced AI-powered system. That's why you actually hear about people finding flaws in the lotto and making a fortune as a result. A few years ago, a group of MIT students did just that and won about $8 million. They got in trouble, but they weren't even doing anything wrong. They just found a mistake. There are actually a lot of stories like that, but it's important to remember that what I'm showing you is completely legal and ethical and not cheating. It might feel kind of weird when you win so often, but you're not doing anything wrong. 2. How did you come up with this lottery winning program again? What I did was take the basic framework from a secret lottery syndicate, refine their formula, and add more features. I figured they used some AI-based program to rig their numbers, and that's exactly what I did. I used powerful artificial intelligence to gather all the possible lottery data and condense it into a few strings of numbers that would yield the best results. 3. How do I use this program? Using the program is so easy, even a 5th grader could do it. All you have to do is log in and enter data like your zip code or the date you want to play. The AI-based program then analyzes loads of data, including local games, historical winning patterns, and your budget, to provide you with 3 sets of potential winning numbers tailored specifically for you. 4. How much money can I expect to win using this program? I like to tell people to expect an average of about $20,000 per month. There are some months you won't win that much, and other months you'll win a lot more. Generally, this AI-based lottery winning system will give you consistent wins 4 times out of 10. And trust me, winning thousands of dollars 4 times a month is way better than wasting your money on 10 out of 10 losing tickets. 5. What are the terms of the guarantee again? That one's pretty simple. You get the program for yourself right now by hitting the Buy Now button you see below. Then, use the system for a full 2 months and see just how much money it will make you. If for any reason you change your mind, just send me an email and I'll refund your investment. 6. How do I get access to this program? Simple. Click the Buy Now button you see below. You'll then have instant access to the program, the 2 free bonuses, and any other future features I decide to implement. All of that at a one-time set cost of $197. 7. Did you mention something about a subscription? Yes. In the very near future, we will have to make this subscription-based. This program needs to stay updated and error-free. I'm also planning on adding more features for even bigger wins, and the upkeep of those will cost me a fortune. Understand that I am not making any money off of this, and I will only need to cover maintenance costs. However, if you're here watching this presentation, it means you're one of the few people who get the advantage of a one-time fixed fee. That means you're safe from future price increases while still enjoying any new features I might add.